it's live. Well, come on, game. Let me go to my phone and check if that's working.
You know, because I wanted to put him down here, but
More videos. Come on. Let me check that the game is showing up. Game is showing up. Hello, everybody. My name is Sticky Hands, the Unclean Gamer. And I guess let's just begin the game. I like how meta this is right here. See? It's like cool. Oh, please don't tell me it's gonna freeze now. Come on. Come on. Good. Come on.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Big yeet.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Why do I feel so
Stanley
called out?
was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, you guys can, I'm gonna open up the chat on my phone because, you know, the monitor's kind of being taken up. And if you want, you can vote for endings in the chat. Just put in the chat what ending you want to see. For now, I'll just do the
All of his
default ending
co-workers were
until
gone.
someone says
What could it
otherwise.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But no. Oh, what? I don't think that's how doors work.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
To admire it, you say? Well, better be hot.
Yes,
This is not
truly
hot.
a room worth admiring. It had really
Except
been
that is.
worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Oh, come on.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah, cool.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
If you're in a big booms, it's because
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Should I go down here, or should I keep going on to the default? What do y'all think? intended.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fun fact, I'm playing this with a PlayStation 3 controller instead of an Xbox.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
You guys can hear me, right? If I need to adjust the volume on anything, you can put it in the comments. Actually, let me just test.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Never mind that. I got it open on my phone so I could hear how loud it was.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom? Freedom means...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Wait, is this thing working? Okay, it is.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Psych! You thought I was gonna press the off button, didn't you? Because I said I'd be doing the default.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do.
Really?
But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Isn't it?
You were supposed to let it go.
No.
Turn the controls off
No.
and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Really?
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Bullshit.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode,
Why?
eliminating the entire complex.
But why?
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Well, narrator,
This
you
is
sound
making
like a
things
bad
a little more
DM.
fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's
Bad
your
dumb
time to
for us.
shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Nah.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Dude.
Other times,
I thought I
let
was
the office
dark.
sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
You have
But
3
I'm sure
attempts
whatever
remaining.
I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Dude,
These are
really?
precious
You're just
additional
a bad
seconds.
DM. Bad
Time
dumb.
doesn't grow on trees.
A Mary Sue of a
Oh
narrator.
dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look
thunder,
at you.
perfect
Running
timing.
from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think
Yeah,
that,
something
Stanley?
will, right?
That this video game can be beaten?
Yes.
Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
To win.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble.
What? No.
This is not a challenge.
What?
It's
No.
a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to
No,
strike.
there's gotta be
30
something.
seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling
I thought I
desperately
could
to
just
your
take
frail life?
control
Or
of
will
the
you let
thing?
it go
What?
peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Well, that just happened. It's a mess. Hey, does someone does
All
anyone
of
have a
his co-workers
specific
were
ending they
gone.
want to see?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
'Cause I
meeting
see there are
room.
2 people
Perhaps he had
watching.
simply missed a memo.
2 people are watching, but they're not putting comments.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
What?
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
Nope.
Like right now.
I could.
You could have done it just then.
Yes.
Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
Okay.
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate.
Well,
I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
go ahead, do it. I have time.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Okay then. It's time to torture the narrator then.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Yeah, it's time to torture the narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
No.
Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Not really.
The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
Make me.
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
where am I? What? No, hey, what? Hey, what? No,
What do we want?
Nothing.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking for food. I don't know what.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Yeah, but it won't last for long. Because like I said, this is where you torture the narrator.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
You made fun of me in the last ending, so now I get to do the same to you in this one. I get to make you feel just as bad.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Sure.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
But that doesn't make for an interesting live stream.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Psych! You thought I was gonna go back.
No. No. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
You can say I'm sorry, but he can't hear me.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Yeah.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh well. Now what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps. But... Oh no. Wait. Never mind. What? It looks like there's an extra... What's going on? Extra hallways. What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
This is a confusion.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What?
SV Sheets 1.
Stanley, this is me being serious.
Narrator, this is me being an arsehole. Stanley Parable Sheets. Come on, console command so I can get door.
Is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events.
Yeah, look, I don't...
Was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
And now, oh my heavens!
Now,
this is the staircase to upstairs.
Right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Huh. No doorknob. What happens if it won't let me downstairs? Huh. Ooh. It's like we're in the back rooms. What's this? Oh. That kind of friggin' sucks.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding?
Oh, come on.
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Yeah.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
From the top? I don't know. I mean, aren't you supposed to start at the bottom and go up? You know? It won't let me close the door. Weird.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh. Nothing behind any of these doors. Weird. Here's a door. Here's a door. Okay. Huh. Weird. Well, I'm not supposed to go anywhere then.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
And I'm the one that
right
broke
here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Huh. Ooh, the story. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Everyone knows what I did. What? No, I didn't do anything. No, what do you mean they know what I did? Who told them what I did?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Liar.
Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Not
Okay, let's
really.
give it a shot.
It's
Why
your
not?
story, and your story kind of blows. That's why I want to escape.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yep.
What could it mean?
It means you
Stanley
suck.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Weird. Normally the game lets me use the cheat to open the door the narrator closes. And that time it didn't. Now dang it. Nard. What the?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I don't know, man. Your story kind of blows.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
No.
Do you remember, Stanley?
It took place
Well, do you
here.
know what? Since
were
I've
serial
completely
killers.
forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you
I
put in
win.
a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good
I'd like
job.
to thank everyone who watched this stream.
Oh, no.
I couldn't do it without you.
I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Bruh.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Bruh.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
What are you, Frisk? All you do is restart over and over and over.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Look at that. It's got a weird color on the outside of the line. I'm not doing that. Let's press 5. Let's see where this takes us. Oh. Wait, I just found the line where I'm not supposed to see it. Holy corpse in a barrel.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Sometimes the 5 just opens up brick.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something
Because I don't
exciting,
want to,
daring,
though, with your
mysterious.
story. Your story
This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
No.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
This is breaking physics. What is this, a non-Euclidean hallway? It's gotta be non-Euclidean.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor
you
rooms.
see, I want to
Just
veto
don't acknowledge it.
you
We
from
should be
having any
fine.
part of my story. The line commandeth. The line commandeth me. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
What did any of that bullshit mean? Also, I like that I'm able to cheat. It's non-Euclidean. See? Because it's like... Because see, it's like, it shouldn't be this way.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
Yes.
It's all one giant ending?
Yep.
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
This is just life.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Or do
Is
I
it
get
really-
a say?
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
I'm not quite sure if we're in
Narrator,
the
I
destination
wanna slit
or
your
the
throat.
journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Which means if I go here, perhaps... There's not a... Okay then. Nice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Huh. 413.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Huh. That's not good.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What? No, that's not how that... Why are there two doors? Why can't I go through?
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Why?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm gonna be stuck if I go past. I'm stuck. There's no way to shut the door too.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
This is
decided
a
to go
new
to the meeting room.
layout.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
That doesn't make sense.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
What?
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
What?
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
What?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Dang.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Nah.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Well then.
Stanley began screaming.
What is he?
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Nice. This is a story.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Alrighty then. You must be the windfish. Welcome to a story of rain.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the... A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
How has he never seen weather? What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh! Money in the morning. What in the what? Oh yeah, it's because I closed the door back at the...
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
why has Stanley never seen weather? This has got to be hell,
When
right?
Stanley
Am I
came
right?
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is the Stanley Parable just hell, and the narrator is Satan?
Yet there was not a single person here
Like,
either.
I mean, I get a
Feeling
feeling
a
like
wave
that's
of
what it would be.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Oh, that's sad. Panda with a gun up to it. Later.
Okay, I think we all...
Ooh, an elevator. Where does this go? Why is my controller vibrating? And now it's not. Now it is. Wait, we're still here? We're not moving? We're not even moving. I used 5 to open the door. Pressing 5. Oh! I like how we got no narration at all.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yep. This
The
is
door
what I
behind
need.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Hi! Hi, Ravi and Serona, a strong duo.
At this point,
How
Stanley
did I
was
not see
making a
that
conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Shout out to Ravi and Serona, a strong duo. If you have an ending you want to see, just put it in the comments. I'll do it. No questions asked. Except for the question of which one.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Perhaps
So he
this
resigned,
is hell, and
willingly
that
accepted
narrator
this
is Satan.
violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Everything.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Huh. Ooh. Dang it. Brah. I like this form of credits better than having a long video of credits. Huh. That one looks like Portal, like that would be Cave Johnson's office. Freedom ending. Countdown room, nice. I wonder if there are any doors here. Ooh, projector.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Mood. Mood. Actually, you know what? SV cheats one.
Whoa! Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on... Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
Is that it? No more. Weird. I don't know anything else to do. I think that's it. Honestly. I mean, there's only one more thing I know to do. Ooh, there's one more thing I know to do. You want to see Portal in Minecraft?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Nice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly love. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
It was.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
Not
Because
at all.
I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Dang it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good?
No.
Think we can do that? Yes?
No.
Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh? Nice! Hey, I bet I'm number 1. What? Okay, I don't know these names. None of them are me. Hey, I may be 9,328th, but at least I'm not one the 10,000th. Motherfucker. Oh. Well then.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Perfect. Let me look for the thing time. Baby Train of Death Star. There we go.
Sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your
There we go. I
experience.
cheated to send it. Hey Google, how long does it take to get the art ending in Stanley Parable? Oh. That's not good. Without having to complete. There we go. I'm not doing the actual. There we go. I've warped to this.
Really there, Stanley? Art itself is about to burrow into your skull. Aren't you excited for spiritual immortality? For transcendence? In oneness with the beauty and essence of all beings? Just a few seconds now. Here it comes.
I've done it! The art ending! Fear me, mortal. I am the essence of divine art. others, but you cannot read this text. Know that when you die, I will personally carry your spirit across the river between into my garden built within the emotions of a flower. What? Know that when you die, I will personally carry you. Absolutely. There we will live together, we will all dance and eat and sin, and you will do improv comedy based on suggestions from me for all eternity. Yet, like I said before, this is hell. That's gotta be hell. This is just hell. This is your reward for your work here today. No, you know, it sounds like hell. Go now, live your normal human existence and await me in the life that follows this one. No, that sounds like hell. I don't want to go there. I love you. You really don't if you're gonna make me do that. Well, that just happened.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
Anyways,
by the
the
employee
actual
lounge
ending
first,
I wanted to do,
just to
I'll have to
admire
go
it.
back and do again.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
That
But
just happened.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yep.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
No,
And in
no,
the
you
end, it
didn't.
was all for nothing. Because this
Narrator,
is what
you
you
don't
wanted
even
to
exist.
see.
You put
Help
zero
me
time
here,
into
Stanley.
anything.
Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see?
An FPS
Vehicles?
where I can
Skill
shoot the
trees?
narrator.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Take a stab in the dark and end
There
up
we go.
stabbing
A
yourself,
third
narrator.
option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I'm gonna have to save the game because I want to hear all this audio.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Really?
Let's take a look.
Yeah, we all saw that.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Let me press the button.
Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah, I'm not doing that for 4 hours.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch
what
this,
Minecraft
Stanley.
does
I'm
the Stanley
going to
Parable
build a
use?
house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
I'm trying.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
No.
It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Wait, the door shut. Can I? I can't. Weird.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Meow, meow, meow,
Oh,
meow.
no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
I know how to break the game here.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Wait. I pressed 5. It opened.
Genius.
Let me save. Normally, to break the game... Actually, I'm just gonna break the game. And there we go.
Now, how did you manage that? Are you really trapped in here? I'm actually quite impressed. I don't think there's a simpler puzzle out there, and you've still broken it. Well, since I don't intend to open that door, I guess you and this giant button just need to get cozy together. A dream for you, I'm sure. Enjoy. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then, I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work, and I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Normally, you're not supposed to be able to bring this with you. This is fascinating. That's not good, and I'll let go of the box. Ooh! I can't open them. Where am I? Seriously, where am I? Well, that one opened, but from to nothing. Yeah, I don't know what to do. This is not good, is it? I don't know. Help. Okay, loading.
Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous...
One more, and then stream is done.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Yes, you can.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
One last time. Come on.
Now, how did you manage that? Are you really trapped in here? I'm actually quite impressed. I don't think there's a simpler puzzle out there, and you've still broken it. Well, since I don't intend to open that door, I guess you and this giant button just need to get cozy together. A dream for you, I'm sure. Enjoy. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you...
I don't think I'm supposed to be out here. I broke the game. It's supposed to make me fall farther than that, farther than that. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, see y'all later.